The road trip adventure is one of summer's most exciting pastimes, and whether you're doing a weekend away or a full-on cross-country excursion, we all want the same thing: to arrive safely. Stoicki, Anderson, and Sinclair personal injury attorneys are here with tips to make our roads safer and keep the adventure alive. Let's welcome Kellen Sinclair, partner at Stoicki, Anderson, and Sinclair. Hello, Kellen.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so in the summer, we don't have to deal with unpredictable weather or storms, but why is now still a time to be considered as dangerous?
Well, there's a big study that was done by the National Highway Safety Association that actually found that the summer months of into fall, July through October, are actually some of the dangerous times to travel. And that's because people are out, they want to go on trips, vacations, cars full of people.
Yeah.
So it's important to be safe on the road during these times. And we find that we have three major holidays that people like to travel. We got the 4th of July, Labor Day, and Memorial Day.
Okay, and they all kind of fall around that timeline. So we want to make sure we're keeping people safe. So let's think of just a couple scenarios that can happen and what people should do. First scenario being your tire blows out. I think first thing I'm doing is panicking, but I think you probably have better steps to take on.
Well, the first thing to do with the tire blowout is actually before the blowout. And I'm not talking about looking for potholes. You want to make sure that your vehicle actually has a spare tire. Some of these cars do not have spare tires. And if you do have one, you want to make sure that you know how and feel comfortable getting to that tire. It could be underneath the car in the trunk. And I've represented people that have been in crashes where they're messing around the back, can't get the tire, and they get hit. And then another important thing is, if you do have a spare tire, when you get your car in for regular maintenance, you should have somebody look at the tire pressure in the car. You don't want to be slapping on a tire on the side of the road and you find out that that's actually flat too.
Okay, good things to look out for. I'm like, I actually need to check my car to see if there's a spare tire in there. What about a minor fender bender? Kind of, you're in that bumper to bumper traffic going to Tahoe. The kids are kind of, being a little crazy in the back and you hit that car. What should people do?
I think in any crash, whether it's severe or minor, you want to just document everything. Take pictures, take photos for your own insurance. If you have kids in the car and car seats, the insurance code says that insurance companies should pay for these car seats. So that even if it's something minor, you want to look into getting a new car seat. But also, these new cars have all these sensors and stuff, and you never know what goes on down the line. That if a sensor goes out, could cost $50,000 or $1,000, and you want to be able to relate it so your car insurance can cover it.
Okay, another scenario. We know, summertime is a time when people like to let loose a little bit. You mentioned, a few holidays are coming up. So with letting loose, sometimes people are maybe drinking a little bit more. But what should you do if you have your family in the car and you notice a vehicle nearby that you suspect has an impaired driver?
What you want to do is stay a safe distance if possible and call the authorities. And some people may not want to give their personal information to, tell on somebody essentially, but you don't have to. You could just say, hey, you see this driver, have your passenger maybe tell you what the license plate is so you can recite it to the authorities, and then maybe consider getting off the highway just to kind of create a safe distance between you and maybe this impaired driver.
Yeah, and I get the sense of calling to make sure nobody else is impacted by who you might be suspecting is an impaired driver. What happens if you find yourself in the unfortunate instance of a car accident? What are the steps to take?
You want to be safe. You want to get off the highway. For example, I was recently on 80 and there was a crash on Highway 80 and there's people arguing in the middle of the roadway. I understand it's you have a lot of emotions.
Tensions are high.
It sucks. But you want to get off to a safe distance. You never know what other cars are doing. I saw this person, but maybe somebody else doesn't. So you want to be safe. Again, document. Use your cell phone, take pictures of your car and the other car. Wide shots, not just zooming in on one little thing. You want to be able to, I'd say, that's that person's car. This is your car. Take their license and registration and insurance, and just, again, try to be safe. Do this all on the side of the road. Move your vehicle if you can. Your car is inoperable then you just leave it there. But you want to just get to a safe distance and call the authorities.
It's good that you bring up these points because whenever in a car accident, it's kind of shocking and emotions are a little bit high and panic kind of sets in. So it's good to know those steps ahead of time. So if you're ever in that scenario, never hope that for anybody, but you just know the steps to take. Yeah. Kellen, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate these helpful tips as we are welcoming summer.
Great. Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
You too. And to our viewers, when riding together, it's important to share the road with care. For more information, visit sasinjurylaw.com or you can call 916-363-2889.